Give everything a second to catch up. See, there's an ad going, so I'll wait for that to finish. In the meantime, you're about to see me play through Shroud of the Avatar. Massively multiplayer game. A lot of quests, role-playing, such. Just wait for the ad I'm watching to finish. Any second now. Alright, I guess my ad's done. Maybe the ad's done for everyone. Alright, I guess my ad's done. Maybe the ad's done for everyone. Alright. Oh, that was an echo right there, because I had to check to make sure the sound worked, because when I tried this last Sunday, there was a lot of staticky stuff. So before we get into quests, I see Gwendolyn Obscuro is asking about picking up coils of rope or pickaxes. There was a change that one of our programmers did to affect how many items you can pick up. If you want to post feedback on the forums, you could do that. We're still discussing it behind the scenes, but yeah, you can file a bug report and tell us, share your comments on it. So anyway, so let me switch my camera. Which one do I got? Nope, that's the one. There we go. I don't know if Chris is here. I don't know how to do the raffle stuff. Chris is the one who knows how to do the raffles, so I don't know how to do that. I see Famine subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll try to pay attention to subscribe and stuff. That's okay. I don't know how you say your name. Is it Ehondus? Ekondus? You guys with your names that aren't just 3 letters and able to be pronounced in any language. So anyway, let me move this thing to one side, I think. What else do I need to do here before I start going? Alright, so my name is Keith Quinn. I posted Sanio on the forums, and sometimes you can see in the chat, I am Sanio, that's me. And I am here in Shroud of the Avatar. I've made it to Solarsprid's outskirts. And normally Chris, who goes by Atos, will be here streaming, or sometimes Travis, who goes by Liz Rostov. They're unavailable to make it today, so since I've been testing the waters doing streaming from my own computer, we'll see how that goes. So right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through some quests. I'm here in Solarsprid's outskirts. I'm going to play as a player, so I'm not going to cheat, put myself in, make myself invulnerable or invisible or any of that stuff. I'm not super speed around. I'll try to avoid that stuff where I can. Maybe once in a while, if I see something I don't like, I might look behind the scenes for some details to see if I like the way something's set up. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through these quests. I'm going to talk about some insights to the quests, and then once in a while we'll come into something that I really like, and maybe I'll talk about why I like it. Maybe I'll come into something I don't like so much, and maybe make a note for myself on what I want to change about it, and then I'll get back to that later off the live stream. That's something I did on Sunday. Hey Kinsey, what's up? So Captain Kinsey here. She was not originally the hub of Solarsprid's Outskirts. So Solarsprid's Outskirts was my... I've done quests in other games, but the first quests I did in Shroud of the Avatar were in Solarsprid's Outskirts. I came up with a layout for the scene and a basic premise for some stuff, but what I mostly did was I did some individual quests. So in front of me there's the Langstons. I did their quest. Over here is Sedgwick. I did his quest. So they supported the scene, but they weren't. It wasn't necessarily a linear situation. So what I've done, Captain Kinsey could tell you to go talk to them, but she didn't. She didn't mandate it. And now what happens? Not today, but with an upcoming update. I think not today. What'll happen is when you check in with Kinsey and you say help to her, she'll actually give you a task to go talk to one of the other NPCs if you're not already helping them. So if I haven't talked to the Langstons about their painting, then I might say help to Kinsey, and she might say, hey, by the way, the Langstons need help. They were saying something about painting. Also, once in a while, you might hear my dog Hero. You can probably hear him right now in the background. He's over to one side, barking at dogs and cats walking by. very upset about dogs and cats. So once in a while I might have to mute my mic and I'll just play through for a couple minutes while he barks. Right, Hero? Yeah. Okay. So let's talk Captain Kinsey. I think I got everything I need from her. Oh, okay. So we do have the updates in. Let's say help a couple times. Okay. So she gave me two quests. Thanks, Kinsey. I got it from here. She gave me a couple quests. You want a hero cam? Okay. Hero, come here. I got some distraction bits right here. Come here, hero. Come on. Let's see if that works right there. That's Hero. He's a good egg. Okay. There you go. Yeah, he's big. He's not a puppy anymore. He's 12 and a half. He's in that grumpy old man stage. That's why he barks when he's over on the other side of the room. A share quest option would be awesome, says Tacos a Beer, and I agree, we don't have that, but there are some plans that the programmers have to make a new side-by-side quest system that'll should be available as part of the episode 2 package, and they want to sort of recreate the quest system from the ground up, and maybe that'll something will be able to happen. That I don't know. They're the ones who are planning that now. So someone says, Atos, what happened to Mojito? Why are you bald now? It's because I'm Keith. I'm Sanio. Anyway, let's go around here. And I see Sedgwick is trying to get my attention, and we're supposed to talk to Sedgwick, so let's go do that. Sedgwick needs my help. So what I like to do, and I mentioned this last time, no, Red Hammer asks, is this going to be about new lands? No, right now, I'm going to be playing through quests in Soulsbridge Outskirts, and we'll be, I'll be sharing comments, and sometimes you'll, as players in the Twitch chat, you'll chime in and tell me what you liked and what you didn't like, and maybe ask questions. Anyway, something I did here, by the way, you'll see this Sedgwick, Langston, Kinsey. This is a small quirk, but not quirk, a small decision I made. But in the original pass of Soulsbridge Outskirts, I tried to give every character in the bivouac a name that started with a different letter. So Kinsey with a K, Sedgwick has an S, the Langstons with an L, the blacksmith has a B. And I also tried to match things up sometimes with some of the things that they had to do. Kinsey, even though it's a K, that's in my mind it's commander. The blacksmith, his name starts with B. Blacksmith, the trainer is Tilton, starts with T. So I tried to have these sort of like subtle connections to help people sort through, intuitively be able to sort of make assumptions on who's what. Heloise is the one with the heirlooms. You know, they both start with H. So that's a little thing I did right there. So Sedgwick needs my help. For those who haven't played Shroud the Avatar, you can see my task is cleared, and I have a new task. We didn't want to give a straight up, here's how to do crafting task quest right off the bat when I created this. But we didn't want to dismiss the idea that you should be aware that crafting exists. Obviously, we have crafting tables around here. So Sedgwick was sort of like the middle ground, where Sedgwick asked you to get wood, and then metal, and then feathers, and then he will give you arrows, letting you know that these items craft arrows, or used to craft arrows. And then at the very end, we'll eventually see that he says he gives us some extra supplies and says, oh, by the way, you can take these over to the bench and make your own arrows. And we kind of picked arrows for two reasons. First, you use up a lot of arrows when you're playing this game, especially early on. We didn't want you to feel like you were running out. So that's why we gave you the arrows. And being able to make your own arrows is kind of nice. So the arrow recipe is actually pretty good because you don't have to learn it. You automatically know it. It's one of those things that just by trying to make the arrows, you can make the arrows. And we have some recipes like that. Sometimes they're obvious, sometimes they're kind of secret. So arrows were one of the ones we felt were like a great way to hint. Such a way. Why you follow me all the way back over here? I'm okay. You don't have to look out for my safety. So I just mine some ore. I guess I'm anticipating that I'm going to be getting the quest to go get some metal for Sedgwick, but I shouldn't. So Takasabir says, what about exploring? Does everything have to be a quest to be worth doing? Shirosh. It doesn't have to be a quest worth doing, but quests are nice because they will send you to an area that is probably good for you. Shush. So, if I didn't have a quest here, then... Oops, hold on one second. I'm trying to give Hero a biscuit to distract him. So if I didn't have any quests to send me out into the world, I could just kind of wander anywhere that I want, which is fine. But maybe, because of my low level, maybe it's better for me to go straight east, where I'm pointing right now, as opposed to like trying to cross the river and going across the river to the south, because those guys are slightly tougher. So a quest is nice because my first quest will send me to the area that's a better challenge for me. And if I explore along the way, then that's great. That's something I can do. What was I doing? I was chopping wood. And then I also want to talk to the Langstons, because they got some troubles, I guess. So for those people who don't know about harvesting in Shrine of the Avatar, you can't... Shiro, what's up? What's up, buddy? He knows the trick now. He knows that he can bark and then get something. So that's what I'm going to do. There you go. So not every tree can be harvested, unlike, say, Ultima Online, where you can harvest every tree. We have certain trees that stand out, like this one right here is a maple tree. I do have the sound on. So this is a maple tree. There's two types of trees you can harvest, a maple tree and a pine tree. In this scene, we have maple trees. Pine trees are in some other areas. And some scenes will have a mix of both pine trees and maple trees. If you saw me mining the ore before, we have iron ore and copper ore and some other ores. And iron ore is the main ore in this scene. So if I try to go up to this tree, which is not a harvestable tree, you can see nothing changes. There's no chop it down icon. So I'm going to follow my compass icon on the top. Sedgwick is over there. They're over there. I'm going to talk to... Actually, first I'm going to talk to her. So I see Shep 311 is suggesting that people don't always know what to do. It's an open game, and so they don't understand that you can sort of just go and do whatever you want. He said, or he or she says there's no direction, no way of knowing where you are in the regression. Missing a huge opportunity for the younger crowd. They were brought up on quest progression games. It's true. Not every game works the same way. We're a little bit more like games like Ultima Online. Ultima Online actually, when it launched, didn't have any quests. I used to work on Ultima Online, by the way. I was a community guy there. And Ultima Online didn't have any quests at first. They just had situations. They had, just ambient NPCs around in the city, combat NPCs in the wilderness, and then some higher threat areas, like deeper in dungeons or on the ice island and so forth. We have a lot of that here, which is we have wave battles and Easter eggs and puzzles and just general combat all over. But we also have quests to direct you around. We could have, I think in the early areas we do a good job with sort of directing you through the early starter scenes. We try not to leave you hanging. In Souls Bridge, we also do, I think, a reasonable job of trying to always give you some quests to do. At some point, you could decide just to stick around even if you didn't have quests, or you can go out into the open world. Once you're out in the open world, I think maybe we're a lot closer to what you're saying in the chat, that maybe there's I forget what it's called, but there's that thing when you have too many choices and you sort of shut down by too many choices, and so sometimes uh, uh, companies or services or something will just like limit it down. Instead of giving you like 6,000 choices, they'll give you 5 choices, and people, like at the supermarket, you'll have, instead of like 30 different choices of spaghetti sauce, you'll have 3 choices of spaghetti sauce, and then instead of sometimes moving on and not getting spaghetti sauce, you'll probably always pick one of the 3. So it's always a tough thing to try to figure out where the best balance is. Anyway, get back to Lady Langston right here. She talks about the bandits. We'll get her name. Talk about the bandits. Oh, she already talked about the swamps. It's the east. Let's ask her about her name. Let's go talk to her husband. Analysis paralysis. That's could be the case, says Radicus 2K. That's, am I reading that right? Probably need glasses. I say probably, but I need glasses. So Lord Langston here, his wife, who's Lady Langston. Oh, yep. They need help. Let's click the help. And they're talking back and forth to me, Lord Langston, Lady Langston. That's a little conversation gimmick we use sometimes to have them both seem to speak. I mentioned painting. And then now I'm fully on the quest for the painting. So a lot of times throughout the avatar we talk about virtues and ethical choices. So we don't know it yet. I'm skipping ahead. But Lord Langston has actually put me on a quest where I can actually make an ethical choice. And I might actually never know what the correct choice is. I'll have to make a decision for myself what the correct choice is. You know what? Let's move along and see if we can find his painting that he's talking about. So one of the things I did, which I think is up here now, I put in extra compass markers to help direct you around the scene. So to direct around the scene, now I have like a search here for painting markers that are there while you're looking for the painting. Once I find the painting, those markers will go away. And I kind of see that they're faded, so that means it's far away, but I'll be running around here taking care of things as I go. There's a wolf. Go into combat mode. Kill wolf, get some skills up. Look at the channel here, see what people have to say. I like the idea of the search here, compass markers. And usually I don't give you just one. Probably I'll give you 2. In a rare case, if there's just like one place to go, I'm not going to put like 3 markers. But I like putting 2 or 3 markers to sort of give you a sense of the area that you should be looking. Something else I like to do is allow you to pick up a quest without being sent there. So right over here is a guard, and she just waved to me to get my attention. I don't have a quest to go talk to her. If I stuck around in the town, I would eventually get a quest that says, go talk to her. But I'm going to talk to her. Well, she also needs my help. And then it's about her buddy, Quentin. Something's wrong with him. So I'll go looking for him later. Shep 311 is pointing out how they played for a while, left, and came back, and it's a completely different game to them. And the game is great. I just don't understand some of the game decisions that were made and the reluctancy to follow some of the other MMO type tropes that appeal to a broader crowd. It's always a bunch of subjective decisions you have. Sometimes you have a certain foundation for your game experience, and something that is common in another game may not work for your game experience as it is today. You might have to change like something in foundational level to allow for things like that. Like for example, some games don't let you pick up really anything, and our game lets you pick up a lot of things that you find like lying around. And some of those things could start a quest, or some of the things are just like interesting, like they're a book with a certain bit of detail, or they're something that you might like to put in your house because there's decorations, and maybe maybe WoW does things a certain way and they have a lot of good users, but they don't have housing, so they don't know all the decoration quality stuff that we have. So there's going to be some differences. Talkers of Beer asked if they fixed the new chest bug. I don't know what the chest bug is, so I don't know. Can't answer that. So I'm on the quest to find heirlooms. Oh, not one yet. Something also that was kind of challenging with this scene. It's like your first multiplayer scene in the game. You were in a solo scene before, and now you're here with other players. So it's this is where it gets tough to balance how many bad guys are in a certain area, because multiple players could kill the bad guys really fast. So maybe that means the bad guys should respawn faster. But if they respawn too fast and you don't have a bunch of players around, then a single player gets, or a small amount of players get quickly overwhelmed. So we had to do a lot of tweaking when the scene first came in, and then everyone wanted to see it. And that's sort of the thing that usually happens to pretty much in any game. You'll get a lot of attention to something new, and you'll have to have its just enter the game qualities or counts or ranges, and then as interest dies down, you can start adjusting it to what you think is the permanent qualities. So this seems to be, and as for a while, seemed to be a pretty good respawning rate for bad guys. So just down heirloom. So something I did also I fixed since Sunday was the heirloom. It used to be you get the quest from Heloise, and there's just a marker on her that stays on her that says bring me back some heirlooms, and you didn't have any markers out here to say go find them out in the swamp. Now there are markers in the swamp, plus since I picked up an heirloom, the markers flip, and let's see, the marker pops up. So you can see that now I'm being the markers are indicating I should get back to the NPC who requested the heirlooms, Eloise. And swim across here. So I'm trying not to cheat, but I am going to use a little bit of my knowledge about certain things. So, yosh. Until I started talking, Hero was sleeping. And now I started talking, he's like, give me attention. So over here, it's outskirts fence. He looks like a bandit, but he's not attacking me. So he's neutral. And I see there's a marker here that says search here for the painting. I'm going to go to his house. Before we go in, I'm going to give here a little distraction. Here you go, bud. Here's another one. So in order to get in the house, I need to open the door, but it's locked. I don't have a key. So the fence over here, he's by this grave. Liliana. So Liliana's painting is what we're looking for, so maybe this guy knows something. Talk to him. He'll also accept heirlooms. So for those people that know, you have two choices on where to deliver your heirlooms. I can bring it back to the guard. Maybe I don't really like the guards. Maybe I'm actually kind of a shifty guy. Maybe I equate more sometimes with these bandits. Even though they fight me, maybe I feel a kinship with them. So maybe I'll actually turn in the heirlooms to the bandit and do some like no questions asked exchanges. I'm going to mention the painting to him though. So this guy, you can see he knows about the painting a lot. So he actually has two connections to the quest we had picked up in the camp, the bivouac. And so he doesn't like Lord Langston, and he kind of was in love with Liliana. And then he kind of said some bad things about the Langstons and how they, put the daughter through suffering. They seem to love her. He seems to love her. And they sort of, if I go back and talk to the Langstons, which I could, then Echandus, I don't know how to say it. But yes, Hartley, the H in Hartley is for heirloom. That's correct. And also, you might say, oh, but you use the H for another character. So Eloise is a woman. She's female with an H, and he's male with an H. So I flipped the genders. So that's sort of the allowance I gave myself. I could use the same letter twice, like Langston's. They both the two L's, Lord Langston, Lady Langston. I could use it, if the gender's different, I can use the same starting letter over. I don't do that all over the place. I just knew I was going to use a lot of NPCs here, and I just wanted to have some way to help differentiate them from each other. Anyway, so now I'm looking for this painting, and now I kind of know that I kind of feel Hartley has it, probably in his house, and he wants to keep it, and he thinks the Langston shouldn't have it, but maybe they should have it. So let me check this over here. So there's a gravestone, and the urn says pay your respects, and the base says desecrate this location. So this was something else I put in, where I have a choice right now. I can do one or the other. I'm gonna decide. I kind of decided I'm a good guy, so I'm gonna pay my respects. So I double click it. Kneel. It's a little flower, little sunflower now, and I press the butterfly, and I'll go away. But if you look, see this loose stone right here? That's independent from the grave and the decorate or desecrate situation. Oh, what's up, Hartley? I'm not doing anything special. I'm just going to check this loose stone for a second. Oh, outskirts fence key. Hartley's the outskirts fence. So I wanted you... so here's a secret. I can attack Hartley. Hartley is... he's neutral, so that means he's not friendly, meaning I can't attack him. And he's not aggressive, meaning that he would attack me on sight. But he's neutral, meaning that I can talk to him if I'm not in combat mode. But I can also fight him anytime I feel like it. So if I actually killed Hartley, I could loot his body as a spoiler and get the same key that I just picked up. But I don't want to I don't want you to feel forced to kill him. So if you want to get that rock, if you can find that rock, if you look around, you can get the rock. So there's two options. You can go the good guy way, the bad guy way. I'm using my secret knowledge to go the good guy way. Use my key on the door. Open the door. So I can see, let's get a potato. Some bottles. A painting of a young woman. Take it, and I see I just got Liliana's painting. If I scroll down my inventory list, I can see the gold named items. People didn't know gold is something that is exclusively for quest. We might sometimes use a regular item for a quest, but these are exclusively quest items, and usually that means that they're no weight, no value. You can't lose them through PvP, ransom, anything like that. So now I have the painting, and the quest task says give the painting to the proper owner. And I can now choose to give it to Hartley, who says he loves Liliana, or the Langstons. So since Hartley is a fence, I know he's disreputable. Yeah, so this is the ethical choice I was talking about. Do I leave the painting with Hartley, or do I bring it back to the Langstons? And if I had something set up, I'd actually put like a voting system in where you guys can vote and help me decide, but that'll be for some future live stream if I figure out that kind of stuff. But we can say first person to tell me what to do, Hartley or Langstons. Who should I give it to? Does the rock highlight as a quest clue? It does not highlight as a quest clue, it's just available. It highlights as something you can interact with, but the quest doesn't say to do it. Taser says keep it. Paladin Michael says Hartley. Alright, so I'm not going to keep it because then I'll never finish the quest, but I'm going to give it to Hartley. Say Liliana. Love the painting. Let's say painting. I could give it to him, a painting of a young woman. And he's surprised. I don't know how I got this painting, but thanks for returning it to him. Since she died, there'll never be another. It's the most precious thing I own, and I'll make sure to hide it when no one can find it again. So we're sympathetic to Hartley, apparently. Talk about the Langstons again. Like I said, Langstons tortured their daughter. No, we don't have to. We get it. So let's go back. And on our way back, we'll shoot some things. What do we need to do? We need to get wood, so let's keep an eye out for maple trees. Since it's the area of love, he clearly loved her. He did love her. And I wrote that quest, so in my mind, he loves her for sure. And the Langstons, they actually weren't in Solus Bridge when the battle happened, or they were there, then they showed up at the end, because they came from Arteris looking for their daughter, who they have recognized died sometime after she left Arteris. Her daughter being Liliana. So even though I sympathized with the painting and gave that to Hartley, I'm going to keep the heirlooms and I'm going to turn them in back in the bivouac camp because Eloise said she was going to get them to the rightful owners, so I think that's an honorable thing to do. Oh, I forgot to look for trees. There's a tree. Come on, combat mode. For those who didn't know, everyone starts with a light spell. That's pretty handy. So I cast this light, and it'll stay up for a while, and eventually it'll turn off, and I'll turn it back on again. Something we tried to do, we tried to have like one main path that leads to the whole scene. So this main, I'll call it a road, partially paved, stretches throughout the whole scene, and the whole scene is kind of like a big U. The road is like a big wobbly U that eventually snakes around to the other side of the river. And then at certain places in the road, we put these torches to help keep players focused on the road. And we have a level design concept that I follow is the closer you stay to the road, the safer it probably is. It doesn't necessarily mean it's fully safe, but the further from the road, the more likely you'll find danger. When you get to the end of the road, sometimes that just goes out the window. But for the most part, if you roughly follow the road, you might have to zigzag a little bit, but it's a little bit more safer than just running through the wilderness. We do have little side paths once in a while, like a little hunter's trail or something like that, and those aren't necessarily any safer than deep wilderness. But it's something that's clearly marked as like a main road. We often try to make it like a little less threatening than the surrounding area. Part of that is because it needs to be an ebb and flow in combat. You need to be able to know that you can back up to a certain spot and be a little bit safer than everything else, so you can go through the inventory and make sure that everything's sorted how you need, or check your skills, or swap out your weapons. It's true, hero. Let's talk to Mr. Langston here. Liliana. Oh, so he knows that we left the painting with Hartley. I guess word on the street has reached back to him. Don't talk to me, you're as much of a villain as Hartley. Well, oh well. He hates my guts now. Merrick Dragon says, woof, so I guess you heard hero. He's like standing there. He's not even going back out to relax. Oh wait, I'm giving you the wrong thing. Sorry, buddy. There's a filter up here. If you didn't know, you can type in a word and then filter. So I only have 3 of the wood pieces. Alright, relax, hero. I'm gonna get more wood right now. Don't panic. It's not too tough. We have wood and resources here in the main camp. Alright, just picked up some wood. Got what I need. Sedgwick followed me all the way over here for some reason. So, you want the wood. Here's your wood, friend. So I could use help gathering ore. Oh, so let's follow up with that. You need 5 ore. Alright, let's see how much I have. 4. Oh, I only have 4. Whoops. So I'm going to walk around the base here. I'm walking around here. I'm not going into combat yet. Something we had for a while, we didn't at first, and then we added in, and then we pulled back a little bit, was we had these zombies. Shh, we had zombies near the camp, and probably a little bit too close to camp. The zombies were like just kept rushing in camp, but we wanted it to be a little bit more safe, safer than. You know, we didn't want you to be picking up a quest and reading about it, or doing some crafting, and then have like a zombie run up and sort of just distract from the whole experience. Sedgwick, you still over here? So we pulled back the zombies that were hanging out. Whoops. Alright. And he still needs help with feathers. So we'll get him some feathers at some point. Shh. Yeah. You want this? You want it? Shake. You gotta work for it sometimes. Don't forget Bloody Bones. I won't forget Bloody Bones is not one I made, so I'm interested to see how that plays out. So Kinsey, do you have... Okay, so Kinsey doesn't have anything new for me, so she just gives me a general response. That's fine. I need to get feathers. I need to learn the fate of Quinn. Forget to turn an heirloom. Here, you gotta stop. Stop. So there's Eloise. Shh. What do you want? Here. Oops. Okay. So what's up, kids? What's your name? Alright, we'll come back to these kids. Push the dog for the win. Yeah, I agree. Except they keep rambling on and on and on, kind of continuously. Watching. See, hold on. He's staring at me. What do you want? Okay. He just wants to be on camera. He did something like this the last time I was on live stream. Actually, on Friday's live stream when we were as a group, he kept doing it too, but I was able to mute myself because I wasn't the center of attention. I was actually on the phone before, and he didn't really seem bothered by that. So something about me sitting here at the computer and talking that he finds distracting. Am I distracting, Hero? Is that what it is? You might want a different type of treat. That could be it. Is that what you want? Oh, I forgot to turn my light back on. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to give him something. Hopefully it'll get him more busy. I'll be right back in like a minute. Hero's not the sort of dog who just can just chew on a bone for like an hour. He doesn't really care about that. I just gave him a rawhide, just not a rawhide. It's kind of like a big jerky thing that he'll chew through in like a few seconds. But that usually is really what he wants when he starts barking a lot. So I kind of have a marker here. I learned Fate, Private Acquaintance, so I'm going to go over this bridge. Probably should be killing guys along the way. You talk about cats. We talked about cats last time on Sunday. My cat that I had used to climb on my hands while I was on the computer, which I guess just meant I had like a finger workout as I had to work while lifting the cat. Because of course I didn't move that cat. I was fine with it. Corpse wax. Gross. So when I lay out an idea for a map, I usually talk to my team about quadrants. So the first quadrant, that's where the bivouac is. This second quadrant, that's where the swamp is. And that was sort of like blending over to the third quadrant, which is where the farm is. We're not there yet, but we'll be there soon. And I like the idea of having at least 4 quadrants, especially because quadrant means 4. But you know, sometimes behind the scenes we talk about a 5th quadrant in the center or at the far end. So I like each quadrant to have its own feel. So the bivouac, obviously the safer area, and some basic quality of life fulfillments. You know, there's the trainers, the crafting station, some minimal hassle harvesting, and then the swamp is where the bandits are hanging out. We've talked about that to the NPCs. We haven't talked about the next area yet, the farm, but the NPCs will eventually talk to us about that too. We can see this broken wagon and some blood over here. I know there's bandits around, and I get a message. Originally, there wasn't a message that popped up. It was just a visual hint, and it wasn't strong enough. So we came back. Legion of Myth asks, any idea what cool stuff is coming our way with the new quest journal and questing event? I don't have that information. It's something that the programs have talked about, but I haven't been part of those conversations. Elwin Moon says, I think Sanyo isn't as vulnerable to squirrels as Chris is. Does Chris get attacked by squirrels? I haven't tried to attack any squirrels, so there's no one-on-one combat going on between me and squirrels. So I'm following this back to the quest. I'm following the blood, and then I see over here there's a body. So I guess someone got attacked over there. He's in the same sort of guard uniform as everyone else. I mouse over and I see Quentin's corpse. Oh, gotta get out of combat. Quentin's final report. So Roswin had sent me look for Quentin, and he's dead. And he's got a note here that he wrote as he was dying. He wrote a note to the captain. And then he has a little comment to Roswin. It's kind of a little bittersweet thing that he said that they'll never get the dance in Sultan Pub that I guess that he wanted for the two of them to take part in. So once again, the love theme sort of comes in. They were two scouts that were partners, but maybe Quentin wanted a little bit more. We'll have to get back. So this is there's an option here in this quest. Like I can either, you saw in the note that he talked to the captain and he talked to Roswin, and we can actually turn the quest into either one. But since Roswin was the one that gave it to me, and there's like that sort of kind of heart-wrenching part of the note at the end, I think she deserves to hear from me what went on with them. And I can see her light over there. She's hiding behind the bush, but she has her torch out. What's up, Roswin? I got bad news for you. So Quentin, by the way, I guess I went Q for quest for Quentin. She was hoping Quentin is safe, but now she knows he's dead. And if some of these NPCs, some of their responses change after the quest, or during the quest, and when the quest is over. So she had a certain thing that she comments she had about Quentin before, but now she says we were supposed to meet for a dance in Sultan. She has trouble considering that he's dead, I guess. I mean, she knows he's dead. He's gone. What else are we doing? So Sedgwick needs feathers. Could go back, but if we click on here, we have the hint. Feathers can be collected off the corpses of skinned chickens. That's a hint. And Sedgwick says I can find them in the farm to the southeast of Salzburg outskirts. So I'm going to go to the farm. Merrick Dragon, I'll point out that she was being cautious, looking out for zombies and bandits behind that bush. She was hiding because she wanted to wait there for Quentin to come back. That is her position. Oh, there's a bandit. We'll get him. Whoop, he's got a buddy. So sometimes the scene tells a story. The story's not too strong in this little section right here, but we could see some bandits along the road, and we can see this wrecked cart. Potentially the story here is that the bandits wrecked the cart. Maybe not these bandits, but some other bandits. Did I ruin a cover? Roswin's cover? Merrick Dragon? Perhaps I did. But I will pose to you that she ruined it even worse by having a torch out in the middle of the night while she was trying to hide behind the bush. So she ruined it first. Or she felt safe enough to pull out a torch. So anyway, I'm going through here. If anybody was watching me on Sunday, I talked about this quest. She was bored and reading a book. Oh. I don't know. So the farm quadrant over here is mostly safe. There's a few things we could do. We could pick up some resources. There's some cotton in the fields on the other side of this corn imagery. I like to make different characters have different attitudes. So Kinsey is a little bit all business. Roswin was a little bit, concerned for Quentin. The farmer here, we're gonna watch him. Keep an eye on him. Pulls out a piece of paper. It's like, oh, he didn't do it. Oh, hold on. There it goes. Using the outhouse. Perfect. Everybody poops. There are some times when I set up the NPCs. This guy's on a waypoint path, and at certain points on the waypoint path, he'll do something. He'll feed his chickens. He'll just gaze off into the distance. And for this guy, this he's a little bit rude and sarcastic. So I decided, we can go a little crude with him, in a sense, and he will use his outhouse. Go look and see if he's sitting. All right. Whoops. Gross. We disturbed him. We are super rude people is what we are. I guess when I say we, I mean me, because I'm the one who opened the door and you guys are just watching. So he's got a nice little house over here. And he was complaining about somebody else with the fields, so let's talk to him a little bit. Have I seen Dawson? No, sleeping off another hangar, I don't know. You need some help? Alpha Wolf, Cotton. Let's see what the Alpha Wolf was all about. Oh, that's something about Betty. Oh, that's a lot of text. Text needs to be trimmed. He talks about these feathers. So we're actually looking for feathers, so let's talk to him. Would you like some feathers? Yes. So here's some feathers. So this is the spoiler option, by the way. You can come here and do the simple thing and kill chickens to get feathers. Maybe you don't like killing, though. You can talk to the farmer. He's got some extra feathers that he's picked up. So I got the feathers I need, and I didn't have to kill an innocent chicken. So there you go. It's a secret for you. I like giving you options. I like giving you the good guy route and the bad guy route where possible. I don't want to overcomplicate too many missions, but sometimes, why not? Sometimes you got to put in that extra little step. Now, Elwin Moon asked, what kind of virtue ding is that? We have a secret tracking of your reputations in truth and love and courage, and sometimes during some conversation bits or some activities in the world, you'll get plus or minus things. And Elwin Moon asked, what kind of virtue ding is that when I opened the door in the bathroom? I guess I didn't get any, because apparently he wasn't really pooping. He was probably just reading that paper, whatever that was. He's wasting time. Kill the Alpha Wolf. Feathers, chicken. So I see over here, I have a marker, kill the Alpha Wolf. Before there was just a simple discovery marker to let you know that there were wolf lairs in the area. One of the improvements I did since Sunday was I added in extra markers to let you know to go over here when you're on the quest. Everybody loves Fillmore. He's a good dude. Very interesting. He's got a lot going on. He's got a lot of quests that he cares about. So you gotta... I don't know where the Alpha Wolf... Oh, I do know, but Mr. Sanio Appletree right here doesn't know where the Alpha Wolf is. So Alpha, Beta, there's a connection. Let's kill some Beta Wolves. See if the Alpha Wolf shows up at some point. Alright, these guys are dead. Oh, there's another wolf. Oh, there's the Alpha Wolf. So this is the player's... Oh, am I going to finish? Nope. This is the player's first experience with a wave battle. We have more complicated ones later on, but the simple one is this. In this is kill the moderate challenge level Beta Wolves, 3 of them, and then the slightly higher challenge Alpha Wolf shows up. And you can see I'm actually losing some health right now, and it's taking some extra shots. I actually have to use my skills to kill this guy. Alright, so he's dead. So let's skin him because there's something about the head and Betty the chicken. So we can see Betty's collar and the alpha wolf head. So there we go. Got them both. Let's also skin these wolves. Dark Dragon says there's 2 or 3 direct spawns for the alpha as well. There shouldn't be. It could be because somebody else has killed those, whether an NPC or another player has killed the wolves to draw out the alpha wolf stage of the wave battle. And Keto says, I love doing quests and soda, really. Thank you. I know some of those quests aren't mine, or probably much of those quests aren't mine, but still, on behalf of all of the quest makers, Shroud the Avatar, thank you. So I'm going to bring back this stuff up. There's a wolf right here, a little too close to the farm. I'm sure Fillmore. Once again, back to the letters. Fillmore with an F, Farmer with an F. There are 2 overhangs where I watched an alpha spawn. Could be a bug. If it was sometime last week, there was a spawning bug that could have been the case as to why it happened, but it shouldn't be happening. If you do see, if you're just standing there and an alpha, no one else is around, and the beta wolves have not been killed to draw out the alpha wolf, and you see an alpha wolf pop up, oh, a week or 2 ago, yeah, then it could have been related to that spawning bug. And the spawning bug had to do with, we changed it so that it used to be, if there was a corpse on the ground, then the corpse would remain for a full 5 minutes or disappear if you looted it. And while it was there, each NPC, living or dead NPC, was connected or owned by a spawn marker. And while that NPC was there, that marker was still in use, meaning a new replacement couldn't show up. So there was like some changes that we made. So now, once something was dead, then it disconnected from the spawn marker and something can spawn in at that marker. So it had some other repercussions, including having stuff like spawn back to back. And for now, I think maybe Merrick Dragon, that's what you were seeing, but if you still see it, it should have been fixed. If you still see it, then maybe there's something else. Let's go to Fillmore. Let's chat about the Alpha Wolf. Keep having to clear my queue right here. My filter, I mean. Here's the Alpha Wolf. He's pretty happy. Look at him cheer. Let's also talk about Betty, since I got Betty the chicken's collar. There we go. And there you go. So we have help, cotton right there, but let's say help. No. Let's just jump to cotton. So people keep going into my fields and stealing as much cotton as they can carry. I hate that. That sounds like players. It sounds like just players that come in and farming, and he's just ticked off about it. So he wants me to collect the cotton before those thieves do. Those thieves being, I guess, other avatars. No wonder he's like a little grumpy. Like, avatars keep coming in and taking all his stuff. Killing his chickens and taking his cotton. And of course Dawson, whoever that is not available to help. So Dawson is not a quest. Some people thought originally that he was a quest. Dawson is an Easter egg, and we're going to go check in on Dawson when I'm done getting this cotton. I forgot how much cotton he wanted. 4 handfuls. Check what time it is. Okay, probably after I'll turn in this cotton here, and then I'll make it all the way back to the bivouac and give the feathers to Sedgwick, and then we'll wrap it up. Just 1 second, I want to check on something. All right. So I'm being asked about the raffles. The raffles are a special plugin, or Chris uses a special plugin or app with certain settings to do the raffle. It's done only on his machine. It's not like a normal Twitch situation. So I'm more than happy to do it once I get the proper app and the proper settings. I just don't have that available. Sorry. Chris was able to actually jump in partway through my Sunday stream and start doing the raffle directly, so that was actually kind of nice, but I don't think it's available right now for that kind of thing today, which is why I'm filling in. So it's kind of nice that he only takes the number of cotton pieces that he needs. It used to be that he would, that anytime you try to do a trade, you had to put in the exact amount, and sometimes it was kind of frustrating. It's nice that I can be sloppy and I can just drag like the whole stack over, and he can take a specific amount. There are some players who don't know this trick I'm about to do. If you double tap W, see how I'm like hunkering a little lower and I'm moving a little faster? Watch my focus. So I can sprint, but I'm using up extra focus. So I don't need to do it right now, but in a pinch, if you feel like you're sort of being overwhelmed by some NPCs and you're trying to run away and you don't have like a higher level skills, maybe sprint will be the way that you can get out of there. Regarding the raffle, Red Hammer says you can always a few next time. Yeah, once I figure it out, I'll do a couple extra ones. You know, and I also need to figure out. Chris has some guidelines for himself on like what he's okay with giving away, so we need to coordinate on that too. I wouldn't want to give away something too super awesome, although maybe at some point I'll give away something too super awesome. We'll see. Almost back at the base. So you can see the big barrier to the other side. So we didn't want people in the starting area to just be able to get to the high threat area of the village that's at the end of the road. And we didn't want the whole thing to be super linear, just like one big long line. We like the idea that you can go in multiple directions, especially if you are getting some skills under your belt. So we put the river in, we put the one bridge, and we made it like probably impossible to climb right up to the village that's on the other side of the river. So even though I'm facing that way, we can't see it, so I'm going to move over there. So like I said before, the scene is kind of like a big U shape. And we're at one end of the U, and at the other end of the U is that village over there. So if you are at the village, you can probably jump into the water safely and then do a little swimming and then come up the ramp, and then you're right back at the home base to turn in your quests. And once you do like say the finale activities, you don't have to like run all the way back over that way, like past the farm and over the bridge and then up the hill. So it's a little easier to get back than it is to go into the tougher area. So that was something we thought it was important to plan out. Where are we going now? Sedgwick, what's up? Sedgwick wants the feathers. There you go, friend. Exactly what he needs. Oh, if I talk about make arrows, I get the things I need to make some arrows. But there you go. Oh, you know, I forgot something. By the way, last time I couldn't pick these up. You can pick them up now. Helpful guides, something I made. Alright, so now we actually will cheat for a second, because I had mentioned we were going to go check in on Dawson. Back to the farm for a moment. Oh, jump too high. Yeah, when you cheat by flying around, being God mode, ghost mode, you get used to certain activities. So this is the farm. Remember, there's Fillmore right there, and his chickens and his house. By the way, he's got a really nice house. Travis made this scene, and Travis loves decorating. He plays as Lis Rostov. That's his character, and he does a phenomenal job, like with all the little things. Like this guy, obviously, he's got a little pond in his house. Obviously, he's gonna have a fishing pole, and he plays some music to himself. He's pretty much by himself. Maybe Dawson comes around, but he keeps complaining about Dawson not being around, so he's not super social, but he can be social. He's just not great at being social, Mr. Fillmore, the farmer. So if we go up in here, we see this is where Dawson is. Spoiler. Once again, close my die thing. So, uh-oh. Someone's got an arrow through his chest while he was sleeping. Possibly someone shot him from the door. And we can sort of guess that it could have been bandits. It could have been those people stealing his cotton or killing his chickens. We don't really know who killed Dawson, but that's why Dawson's not around. And Fillmore is unsocial enough that he doesn't consider that he should go look in on Dawson in Dawson's house. So, oh, that's where I died, by the way. For those people who didn't know, when you die, you leave a little skeleton behind. You have outhouses in the game. Players and NPCs can use them. Over here we have one of those little lakes I was talking about. Sometimes there's chickens over here. It's kind of random. Oops, what am I bumping into? This fence. Alright, so let me get back to the bivouac, as I call it. Call it the bivouac instead of just camp, because everything's camp. I don't want to give it a little bit of a unique name, like its own personality. So even the camp itself has a personality. I just damage myself, because I'm not learning my lesson about falling from the sky. So there you go. That was today's game. Next time I'll just pick up where I left off. You know what? Let's talk to Kinsey before we go. See if she's got something to say. Help. Medicine. Oh, there we go. Picked up a new quest. Thanks, Kinsey. You're a good point of contact. So there you go. That's it, everyone. Thanks for joining in. I'm sure Chris will be able to come back next time and do the raffle and give you all his own special insights. Or maybe Travis will be able to do something as well. And I guess probably I'll see you Friday when we have our Friday live stream. Oh yeah, did you hear her making noises again? He came back. He wants my attention. So alright, you're going to lose my attention, but he's going to gain my attention. And I'll see you guys next time.